Oh, I just don't think we have enough time,
Oh,
Michael.
yeah.
But I will again, yeah, say for sure it was a defining moment. It was definitely very, very difficult as a teenager, as you said, as a young woman at 14. And there's just so much change that's happening at that time, including my father chose to move us to a different town a year after my mother passed away. So I started at a new school, and there were just, there was absolutely a ripple effect impact,
Right.
for my life. What I will say is, in spite of the difficulty and challenges, which there were many, it also now this many years later has really supported me in my work, and really gives me a different level of empathy, and also a different level in terms of an understanding that we aren't omnipotent and we don't have all the time in the world. So it has absolutely, from both of those aspects and perspectives, has shaped the decisions that I've made and the things that I've done and the way that I've gone about doing them, for sure.
Yeah. What did your mom do for a living?
She was many things. She was a teacher. So in my early years, she was a nursery schools teacher and specifically focused in the Montessori realm of education. She was also a social worker in the 80s. And then before she died, she was going back to school to become a nurse.
Wow. And you became a teacher. We'll get into that.
A teacher, yes.
When you were in high school, what were your major interests?
When I was in high school, one of my primary interests was theater, for sure. So I was part of a company called the Lake George Youth Theater, which still exists as far as I know to this day. And it was really a unique program, a fabulous program, and for me, a life-saving program. And it was unique in the aspect that it was a summer program, and basically we were together for just 1 month, and we put on 3 musicals in 1 month's time. And so as a member of youth theater, you did everything. You worked backstage, you worked were able to get casted in a lead role, but then also supporting roles. And it was just such a valuable foundation, not only for work that I ended up doing, but just, how to be a team player, how to, be a well-rounded human being. So that was definitely a primary interest when I was in high school.
You have a uniqueness about you that we're going to get to, but so around high school time, what would you say was one of your major emotional wants at that time?
Well, being the fact that in hindsight, I was living through like massive trauma in high school, I don't think I had the typical sense of connection to wants. In all honesty, it was, pure survival mode at that time. So, that's kind of like a difficult question to
Connection.
answer. I think probably others would probably be able to say like, oh, I wanted to be a teacher, or I wanted to be a doctor, or
it's more of an emotional. Yeah. And I think you nailed it. You said you wanted connection.
Yeah. I meon, again, it was really like survival. It was, like, how do I just get through each day and try to feel normal?
Right.
I would say that was the primary one.
Right. Only child, just you and your dad, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. So then what, would you go to college?
I did go to college.
Where'd you go?
And graduate school. I went to a small all-women's college in New Rochelle. So it was the College of New Rochelle, which basically, sadly, does not exist anymore. The primary reason I chose that college was because I wanted to come to New York City, but I was too scared. I was too scared to actually come right into New York City right out of high school. And so that way it just served so well. And it was also a very kind of safe environment, which was really helpful for me at the time, again, just with what I was going through personally. And got to the place where then my junior year, I studied abroad at Oxford University. And then by the time I graduated college, I spent 1 year just working in the city. And then I started graduate school at NYU. So I found my way to where I was meant to be, but it's a little bit of a circuitous route.
Without digging too deep, was there a sense of security? Something was there was an obstacle towards getting that security?